live stream unboxing, because really it is less of a hassle to do this live than to film it, then edit it and upload it to my channel. So that's why we're doing it live, and everyone wants to see me take a Bullworker out of the box, so that's what we're doing. Really legitimate unboxing, as you can tell. I already opened this box. But in here we have what I assume to be the S3 steel bow. I assume that this is the S3 based on the logo that you can barely read. This one was probably has probably been owned by someone else, I'm not sure. Just based on the condition of the box. And yeah, it also says steel bow here, so I assume that this is a steel bow, and also this box is clearly not big enough to fit a bow classic. So, the moment of truth. As with the bow classic, it comes in a nice gray bag containing several springs here, and this one has, yeah, this one's probably fitted with the yellow spring. Let's see. Oh, maybe this one has not been previously owned, I'm not sure. Or maybe with every model that gets sent back, they read back the handles. That is a possibility. I do not know. I doubt that they would do that at Amazon though. Most interestingly, the rubber mat. It's the best part of the whole thing. But for real, that is a pretty handy thing to have. And I now currently own 4 of those. Trying to get... There's a guidebook in here. But it's packed in such a way that it's a little bit tough to get it out. There we go. This is the guidebook. This one has clearly been opened, because yeah, it was not even open on the on this page. It's interesting. So on the front of this book, as you can tell, they this is the updated guide, if you will. This is for the S3 model. At least, you know, it has the new logo, so this has been made in the time that that the S3 has been brought out. But this features a red Bullworker, an S2 model. I don't know why. And in the book itself, it also features, yeah, the S2 model. Interesting choice. So I don't know why they. Seems like a small oversight. And as I said in my Bow Classic unboxing video, they have done a bit of an update here and there on, yeah. They've included a few things in this new book about how to, for example, fit a spring. I wonder if they also did this with... I really want to know if there's an oversight specifically with the steel bow. Hold on. never mind. Not sure where I have put the guide. Okay. So this is the S3 steel bow, fitted in this case with a yellow spring, is my assumption. Look at that, I was correct. So as I have said previously, they have gone for anodized aluminum. The Bullworker company has also made a lot of notice on this development, and it is really neat. I have to say, it feels a lot more, how should I put it? Not to say that the previous Bullworker models felt cheap, but this feels a lot more expensive. And it is a beautiful material. So, as far as the experience goes, what can I say? It's a Bullworker. It does feel a little bit nicer. It's weird how to put it. It feels like the feeling is more even when you compress it. And of course, I have the old steel bow here for comparison. And you know, one thing that I want to say, so they have now etched in this power meter. And on here, they pretty much, yeah, it's not etched in, it's put on top of the Bullworker. And for my steel bow, the power meter is still in perfect condition. The only thing that I can say that is not perfect on this power meter is that it doesn't start at 0. But with this one they fixed it. It does start at 0. Not exactly at 0, but they almost got it right. But then you have the Bow Classic, and you have the power meter. The power meter on this one is not in perfect condition. Which is strange, right? I mean, you would assume that they have used the exact same process for putting on the power meter as far as the S2 models go. But for whatever reason, the steel bow has the power meter on my S2 steel bow has lasted for way longer. I did get a comment. Greetings from Croatia. That is a beautiful country. It is one of the countries that I want to go to at some point. If I'm going to travel Europe, then Croatia is definitely on my list. I have the older steel bow. Fortunately, I was able to buy 3 more springs to upgrade the model to match the current unit. Yeah, it's mostly about the springs, really. But if you're all about having something that feels expensive, then this is the way to go. And also, as of now, this is the only one that you can still officially get in, in perfect condition. So. It feels a lot more smooth when you compress this. Which spring did I put in here? Did I put a black spring in this? I don't think so. No, it's a gray spring. So. Another thing to note, I just want to say this. So you have the handles on the steel bow. And as you can tell, they kind of slide away a little bit, which they have fixed with these newer models. So these handles, they don't slide away, and you can even detach them, as you can see, which is a very, very nice addition. Because some people, they don't like the handles. Some people, they rather want to work out without the handles. I don't know why. I personally really enjoy the handles. But I do never use them on the Bow Classic. And the reason for that, which I will show you, once I've reattached this handle, there we go. It's very simple. The handles do not stay in place at all. But again, they fixed that. So, if I ever had major complaints with the S2 models, then they definitely have fixed those with the newer models. How light is the lightest spring? I think it is... You mean for the steel bow? I think it is about 20 pounds. Let's try it out. And let's compare it to the white spring on the steel bow, the S2 model. Oh. Where did I put it? Ah, here. Also here just a brief comparison to the backs. Here you have an old back. This is a really old back. This is they have not been using this even for the S2 model in a few years. As you can tell, fits a few springs. Springs. If you were to travel with this, your springs could easily fall out of the back. And with this, they fixed that. There's now a Velcro strap on here. So a nice, small addition, but very much needed. So here we have the wide spring, which will fit in my S2 model. There we go. So, and the new blue spring. So this is the lightest one, and yeah, as I said, I think that this is about, if I recall, 20. Actually, it's in here. I can just find the exact resistance in here. Yeah, the lightest spring, the blue spring, is approximately 20 pounds. It's stated here. So here you have an overview. Okay, no. So the first spring, blue spring, is 20 pounds. The yellow spring is 40 pounds. Gray spring is 60 pounds. Black spring is 80 pounds. And the red spring is 100 pounds. Here it is. Oh, wrong side. And yes, it feels light. I can already tell. Ah, there we go. Yes, this is very, very light. So, as I previously have demonstrated with the Bow Classic S3, the blue spring is probably very fitting for isomotion exercises and also for finisher sets, where you use high repetitions to truly burn out the muscle. And the white spring is very fitting for the workouts that I've previously brought out, which is mostly based on 12 repetitions, then holding it in an isometric hold for 7 to 12 seconds or 15 seconds. So this is notably lighter, and this is probably a very good addition. Again, for isomotion, for finisher sets, high repetitions, sets of more than 30 repetitions, for that it is very, very good. Let me see. Yes, that is the one thing about the handles on the old model that I did not like. Too much slipping. Yeah, I know, right? So I'm really glad that they fixed that. But I will say, it's not a huge problem on the steel bow. It is kind of a thing, but it still works. Oh, not as great. Used to work great. But with this, you know, it's not at all usable for when you do a cable spread, for example. So I'm glad that they fixed that. These new handles, they are solid. They will not slip away at all. Yeah, blue spring feels nice. Let's see. I will also try the red spring. I do know that I can fully compress the black spring on the steel bow, but I do not think that I can fully compress the red spring. At least I was never able to do that on the S2 model. So we're gonna try out if I can do it with the newer woolworker. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Fit it with the red spring. Let's see how far I can compress it. Have to mentally prepare for this one. Up to 80. That's the max that I can do with the red spring and the steel bow. And as far as I know, the black spring with the S2, I could fully compress that one. I do also own the... actually, we can try that. I can try that. Because I do own the red spring for the S2 as well. Maybe it will make a difference. If I can fit it. Yeah, I highly doubt they can fully compress this one. We'll try. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm actually getting more viewers. Okay. See, so on this one, the most I can is 80. On this one, let's see. This one, it doesn't start at 0. It starts at, yeah, let's say 5. Okay. Okay, this one I can get it to 50. And the black spring, I can fully compress that one. Makes a big difference. Red to black one. And with this one, this is fitted with the black spring. Recently I managed to get the black spring to 170. And I have not tried out the red spring on this one yet. Let's see if I can fully compress it in any exercise. Should be possible, right? The red spring maximum is 130 pounds. Yeah, from what I understand, yeah, that is the case for the bow classic. But for the steel bow, it is 100 pounds, if I understand it right. At least that is what the booklet says. And people, they tend to read like, oh, it says it's only 100 pounds. That's not that much. I can easily bench press 100 pounds. So so how much resistance does this thing really have? But it's, yeah, you know, it's much more comparable to having to use 100 pounds of resistance for each arm. And you don't use it for at least as far as the chest compression goes, you don't use it in the same way as a bench press. It's closer to having to curl 100 pounds with one arm, if that makes sense. So let's see. Can I fully compress it? Maybe for a let cool down. A little bit over 100. Maybe for an ab compression. That should be doable. Yeah, that I can do. Whew. Very nice. Yeah. Let's see, is there anything that I want to do right now with this? Let's see if I can, if I manage to be able to take the red spring out. because that is another that is a whole other problem. Oftentimes it is easier to get the spring in than it is to get the spring out. So let's see if I'm able to do it. Oh, whoa. Yeah, okay, that's pretty easy. Hey, that is pretty easy. Huh. That is usually a lot more challenging. Out of experience. That's interesting. They've also slightly changed the spring length, if you can tell. So this one is for the S3, this one is the S2. I've seen that they've also done that for the bow, the bow classic. Okay. Oh, however, there's also a difference in length in these two. These are both for the S3, so I do not know. I really like the look of these models, these new models. Me too. As far as the look on the models go, I don't think they can do much to improve on that. That was something that I wanted to comment on. Hold on. I'll put the spring in here. Another comment. I do like the new model, great improvements. I agree. It is most certainly an improvement. So, what I wanted to say is, as far as the handles go, initially I wanted to say that I much prefer the red handles. I just really like the color scheme on these models. However, when you look at older videos that I've done on these bulwarkers, the red on this was really red. And nowadays, it's kind of, I don't know, a bubblegum pink? No, maybe not bubblegum, but it's not really red anymore. Whereas this, it might not be my preferred color scheme, but this is most likely going to hold its color a lot better. And another thing that I will say is, so with these models, it's not a thing you would typically see, but if you take out the spring, you can tell in the inside that sometimes a little bit of rust can form. And with anodized aluminum, you're not going to have that problem. So this is much more made to remain in a state where it looks new, where it doesn't age as poorly. And not to say that these devices age poorly, because they don't. I mean, this one is, I think, 4 years old, and it still looks really good. But yeah, this is a big improvement. Most of the improvements on these new models is really done to ensure that they look fresh, sleek, and that they retain that look throughout the years. So, let me see, anything else that I want to do right now? Oh. With the blue spring, I can fully extend the cables. I don't think I could do that with the white spring. Yeah, well, that's the unboxing. Those are my initial opinions. As all of you know, I am, well, I don't know if all of you know it, but I am working on a review on these newer models, a proper review. This is just an unboxing. This is just going over my opinions briefly, or maybe in a sense, yeah. Yeah, I will be doing a proper review most likely this week, and I will probably also do a few comparisons as I've done in this unboxing, but maybe in more depth. So that's what's coming, and then I will also, for those who are interested to know, I will also do most likely soon do a workout for the steel bow and a workout for the bow classic. So that's what's coming. I have two anodized brown handled bullworkers with gold tubes. I found them on eBay. I would say they're from the late 70s. Really? That's pretty cool. I'm thinking, have I seen the device that you're talking about? The gold tubes. Is that a device from Cowbell? Like, it's a bullworker, but a really heavy one, isn't it? All right. The one thing that someone else said this as well. This one does no longer come with the white spring, so you now have to buy it online from the bullworker store itself. Some would consider that a benefit. Well, not a benefit, but some would say that it's better to have the blue spring, I guess, instead of the white spring. I do not know. I think both the white and the blue spring are very important. No, it's light due to aluminum construction. Oh no, I did not mean light as in heavy as in the device weighs a lot. I mean the resistance is very heavy on the one that one device. It's an isn't it an X5 model? Or is it a Dread tube model? Because the gold tubes, that does sound familiar. I do believe I have seen something like that. And as I recall, it's some special edition with very high resistance. Maybe I can find it. I'm not going to look for it. It's going to take up too much time. Anyway, yeah, that's the unboxing video. Thanks everyone for joining. And yeah, again, as stated, I will do a proper review, because this is in no way a proper review on not just this one, but this one as well. And I will compare them to these older models. That one and this one. And yeah, I will in depth voice my opinion, and I will then also bring out a few workouts. So that's that. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Oh wait, I will look at this one last comment. It's exactly like the brown handled version, but the two tubes are aluminum and gold colored. I will look up the device that you're talking about. They'll sound interesting. But yeah, I think I have seen it in the Bullwalker Facebook group. I'm not sure. Got to. I have to work on my Bullwalker trivia. All right. See you all next time.